Am I right or am I wrong?
Right.
What's up, folks? Your favorite people, T-Noble, your boy Mystic Jinn.
How's it going, guys? Quite a while.
Yeah, it's been like fucking 8 months, bro. Well, I yeah, because it was November. Like we've been slacking, brother. I was like, YouTube be lying to me. I'm like, no, the math does math up. Damn, it's been a minute, but we're back. That's the important thing. Like, don't worry about the 8 months we were gone. Like, we have lives too, and like a lot of shit going on in them. Like educating like just because we were gone doesn't mean I haven't been working on, been cooking for y'all behind the scenes. Like, and on top of that, I'm improving myself as a person. Self improvement and all that good jazz.
Always a good thing.
It is, but it's a fucking drag.
It can be.
Especially because, like, at this point in time, I feel obligated to because the world's so fucked. And it's like, you know what? Be the change that you want to see in the world. And it's like, God damn it. I'm going to have to see, like, I wasn't supposed, this was not, I was going to leave the world alone. But it's kind of like the 4th of July. Like, I couldn't leave my siblings alone. Like, my brother traumatized children with the fireworks. Like, normally we go and set the fireworks out in the street. My brother decided to be launching them out, yeeting them out into the street. And in turn, a firework went into the crowd and traumatized the children.
I had something like that happen years ago, although it was my fault. Like I had, those bottle rockets. We had a sand road, and I stuck it in there at an angle where it would go towards them. Well, it worked a little too well.
These things will happen. It's the thing about fireworks. Like, accidents will happen, but like I was just like, guy, like they're like, I don't know why they didn't do it this. I'm like, because I wasn't out there supervising them. Like, I got the itis. I munched out, and I was like, you know what? I need a nap. Like, I wake up, I look through the family group chat, and I'm seeing all the message about the chaos. I'm like, I can't leave y'all assholes alone for like 2 hours. Like, y'all are all grown. What the hell's wrong with y'all?
Just goes to show that even as you get older, it doesn't always equate maturity.
Well, I am the oldest of them, so it doesn't necessarily, like, it doesn't, that argument doesn't really hold, like, at that point. Like, if I had been fucking up like that, like, at this point, the oldest wasn't there, so the youngest started fucking around, and, like, everybody had to find out. It was insanity at its finest, but hey, it's what family gatherings are all about. Like, a little bit of food, a little bit of love, a lot of chaos.
Yeah, it pretty much rained here on 4th of July. People still pop
Yeah,
fireworks, but due to finances, we really couldn't join in on the fun this time.
I mean, that's like, honestly, finances are never really a big deal about fireworks because there's always going to be assholes popping fireworks.
Yeah.
Like, and then there's also the places that do fireworks shows. So, and like, even like for those, like, a lot of the times fireworks shows won't stop because of rain. Like, at that point, they're like, hey, less chances of us actually burning shit down. Let's fire this shit off, man.
Right.
We can throw off that that bastard back there that I've been wanting to do, but we've been in a drought. Like, fire.
Speaking of rain, I think it was farther north than I am, North Texas, that had the really severe flash floods.
Yeah, that was in Kerr County.
Condolences going out to all of y'all affected by that.
Yeah, like, and more importantly, a message to politicians and just content creators in general. Stop politicizing tragedy. People have died. People have lost everything. Stop saying shit's fake. Stop saying, stop pointing fingers and start opening hands and coming together, you stupid sons of bitches. See, this is what happens when I cut my, I've also drastically cut my sugar consumption. Like, this mug here, generally, I put like anywhere from a quarter cup to a half a cup of sugar in when I make my coffee, and I drink a lot of coffee. Like, now I put like a spoonful of sugar, some vanilla, and some like a splash of creamer.
That is a drastic
And
change.
and like, pack of smoke. I was going through like a pack of smokes a day as recent as like a couple of months ago. Now, like, I have a pack. If I have a pack of smokes, lasts me a couple of days to a week.
Hey, you're down to where I was at my heaviest when I was still smoking.
It's not my fault you had pussy ass lungs and couldn't hang with the boys.
Uh,
Me in the bar, me at the pool hall with like 4 cigarettes in my hand at any given point in time. Like, why do you people keep handing me your cigarettes and just walk? Like, there's ashtrays. Y'all know I'm gonna smoke this shit. But yeah, now I like nuts, grapes, and shit like that. Like, I've been replacing it with healthy snacking, which I'm not sure if I ever told you this. Have you ever watched a movie called Better Luck Tomorrow?
I don't. Doesn't ring any bells right offhand.
Asian schoolboys pretty much form a little school gang and do a bunch of crazy shit. By
Yeah.
that look you're giving me, I'm telling you, it's not ringing any bells.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen it.
Okay, it is technically the origin for Han from Fast and the Furious.
Oh, okay, that sounds familiar, but I still don't know that I saw it.
Han character originally came out in there, and like then he came out in like Tokyo Drift, and then the rest of the Fast and Furious, and everybody was kind of curious: is it the same guy? Like, it's actually the same director that did all the Fast and Furiouses with Han. And he's like, yeah, it's like that was Han before he was like before he ran into Toretto and everything.
Speaking of rain, it's raining now. But I was gonna say, speaking of Fast and the Furious, I understand that they're going to be coming out with another one, and they're bringing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the final one.
I wonder if the brother, I forget his name right offhand. I wonder if he'll be able to bring the same spirit to the character that.
Well, because here's the thing: if they're gonna go that route, I think they're gonna do a combination of like, yeah, his brother's gonna stand in for most of it, but they're gonna CGI it. So it's gonna be a combination of how well they can meld man and machine. Like like I'm interested to see how they go about it. Because what if they don't even use the brother at all? What if they just quite literally CGI it? Like, there's a lot of possibilities. I'm just kind of glad it's coming to an end. Like, enough is enough. Like, y'all motherfuckers went to space. Like, we should have drawn the line there.
I haven't seen most of the Fast and the Furious movies, so
I've seen them all. Like, don't get me wrong, like, they are good, but like sometimes it's just like, oh my god, like it's gone on so much that they can't help but hit a couple of cliches along the lines, and at that I get it, but like, damn, like honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if like they only did one more after Paul Walker passed away to put the story to rest. Like, they could have closed the story beautifully and let everybody ride off into the sunset. And at that point, you could have done a bunch of like you could have done Tej and Roman.
well, wasn't it Cat Williams that was saying that was it Ludacris had done signed a deal for like 20 movies or something like that?
He was saying that pretty much the typical thing is like you do certain roles and then you're guaranteed into the big league. Like, and I can see some of these kind of arrangements happening. Like, entertainment from Hollywood to lower, like the lowest rung of it to a street, like it's kind of all the same. It's still, there's a lot of gatekeeping. There's a lot of who you know. So yeah, and then like let's not forget like Hollywood. We're getting a lot of like a lot of Hollywood skeletons are coming out of the closet. Like, honestly, if you get right down to it, a lot of skeletons are coming out of all the closets. Because
Needs to happen. It's too much shady stuff
yeah,
going on.
because we have these nuisance content creators getting their just desserts over in foreign countries for going around and being a menace for no other reason than trying to make some money off of the misery of people that they're supposed to be enjoying the culture of. Like, they're destroying the peace and tranquility of these people at the expense like just so they can get some likes and views, some comments like, oh, that was so funny. Like, these people are lucky I don't have the money to travel like that, because if I were in these places, I wish they would. Be like, see them harassing some people they see timid and like, bro, you messed up. I'm American and I think this is some bullshit. You making us look stupid, man. Act right.
Yeah,
You
too
want to
many
be
people are out there that are saying, doing things that have never been punched in the mouth, or not even outside of that, just lack of consequences for their actions, no accountability.
yeah, like I'm all for free speech, but there's accountability with that. You can't sit here and make false claims about people without like that would hurt their character without proof, and or you'll face a lawsuit. Like there are repercussions for even just words. So why would you think it would be okay to physically act a fool in a foreign country
Right.
where you don't necessarily have all the same rights that you have here in America?
And the
Or
consequences
in like
could
a
be
lot of
much
Western
harsher.
places. Well, yeah, especially since some of these places are trying to rewrite laws specifically for these individuals.
You know you messed
Like,
up when they write laws specifically because of the dumb shit you did.
yeah, it's like, guys, we could have just deported you and banned you, but no, we're holding you here. We're having our lawmakers meet. You've heard the term bury you under the jail. No, we're just going to keep you in jail and for a really long time. And we're gonna like I hope there's heavy financial penalties too. Like I really hope they find these people like so much of their profits, like all the profits from the videos that they made in the country. I want them to get all. I want the country to get all of that. Like these people have no class, no respect, and really, just as like they're setting a negative content connotation of what content creators are. So the acts of these are going to hurt people like you or me, or people that are even more wholesome than us. Because let's face it, we're kind of degenerates, but we understand rules.
Right.
And like, don't get me wrong, I break a lot of rules. I'm a contrary person. It's kind of what I fucking do. I can't help it. But I don't break important rules. Like, I don't go around harassing and molesting people. Like, I don't go around slapping people in the middle of the streets.
Or
Though
asking
that one I
inappropriate
really do
questions.
wish I could do. What?
Or asking inappropriate questions.
Yeah, like that's what I meant by harassing. Like going up and just disturbing the peace of people for no reason. And when they ask you to get away, just continuously bugging the fuck out of them like a gnat at a barbecue just won't go the fuck away. Just like, except it's stupid comments from a stupid person. And see, you know why there's no foreign people that come over to America that do that? Because you're gonna find that one person that you, like. Actually, I retract that. There are local people that have been nuisance streamers here in America, and the repercussions for that have been devastating for many of them.
They don't learn,
Like
apparently.
there was that one like a few months ago, TikToker like for TikTok views, some kids like they were ding dong ditching, and what like but they took it beyond that and kicked a man's door in, and the man shot them.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that. I didn't hear that that's what had happened. I had heard that they were trying to rob him, but
Well, no, that's what his thought. Like, someone kicks your door in, like that's your thought, but it was for a TikTok prank. There was some guy, I think it was in a mall in Utah, that kept harassing some dude. And the dude, like, you hear the guy telling the guy for like 2 minutes, like dozens of times, like, look, man, leave me alone, please. And like the dude's being very aggressive. There's a group of these guys, and the guy pulled out his gun and shot him. And I felt zero sympathy for the guy that got shot.
well,
Tons of sympathy for the guy that had to shoot him.
I agree with that. However, I don't approve of just pulling it out and be like, "Hey, I said back up." That's one thing, but just to pull it out and shoot. I mean, too many people are.
No, if you pull it out, you're at that. If you're at the point to pull it out, you've already warned this guy to get out of your space multiple times.
But you have to be under fear, like threat of
No, this guy
fear.
got off.
Really?
He was surrounded by a bunch of guys. The guy was being overtly aggressive to him. Like and there it was a group of guys, and they kept on following him.
Did he kill the guy
Like,
or just shoot to wound?
no, he shot him. He didn't shoot to kill. Like, he just like, and even the guy that got shot was like, I, I'm not even mad at it. Like, how am I gonna be like? I was being an asshole. I kind of like, because at that point he was outnumbered by unknown assailants. He didn't know what was going on. You don't know if they're armed or not. So, and on top of that, you're outnumbered. So if you sit here and like pull it out and you're like, hey, back up, and they all rush you, at that point,
Well,
your
yeah,
entire leverage is gone.
yeah. At that point, I agree with you. I wasn't aware of the
Like,
full details of the situation.
and like, even at that, like, personally, I've said this since like high school. People have gotten way too comfortable with certain behaviors since dueling to the death was outlawed, or just dueling in general. Getting your ass beat can work wonders for an attitude adjustment. Like, would you say to me, okay, man, I challenge you to a duel? Pop, 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 pop. Just smack him around a bit and be like, do you think that behavior is acceptable now? Mind you, the only reason I also have, like, I don't think things should have to resort to violence, but there's certain behaviors that aren't curbed extremely will lead to worse behaviors. Like guys making excessive, like wanted comments, like persisting and following women. More men need to be able to step up and should be stepping up and being like, hey, slow your roll, buddy. But they ain't.
Yeah, and I think what's partially to blame for that is how our society is trying to move everybody towards being a pacifist, and that's just not right. Now, I'm not saying being a pacifist is wrong, but you also need to have the courage to be able to stand up when there are injustices being committed.
I just personally wish that violence was a wee bit more socially acceptable in certain situations.
I can agree with that.
Like, a lot of people would be way less offended if they had to stand on their, like, because here's the thing, everybody has opinions or thoughts. Nobody has convictions anymore.
Right.
Like, people will argue about something all day long, but how many people have convictions that they're willing to take actions for?
Right.
Like, and that is a problem with society as well. Lack of conviction, like, lack of sensible convictions. Because, like, don't get me wrong, there's people with convictions out there, but they're dumb as fuck. And, like, we're reaping the benefits. So, like, we're not the benefits, but the misfortune of, like, all of that over, like, the last decade of. I've always said my problem with politics is it was a popularity contest. It's who's more liked, not what policies are more liked.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
We should be talking policies, not people. Like, honestly, I think like we should like revamp it to where we don't know who's running. We just see their platform, what they're talking about, what they want to do, what their vision for America is,
That'd be interesting. And
what
also
they look like, what they sound like. Irrelevant.
what's also a problem is that generally the person with the bigger wallet more times than not win.
It is, especially when the person with the bigger wallet's technically bribing people to go out there and vote, which is illegal and wrong.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not gonna argue. Like, what happened happened. Like, so I'm not gonna just sit there and bitch about that. Like, gonna get through these next 3.5 years and just hope everything comes out in one piece. I will say, I am liking how gas prices skyrocketed for a bit, and now they're like at a nice little price. Like, I like the gas prices.
They're still too high. They're they're staying
No, they're
around
still too high,
250.
but they're like as low as they were right now. I was just
Well, how high were they for you getting down there?
like they were pushing close to $3.
The most expensive I've seen up around here was like 269.
Like for a immediate, like for a couple of days after we did the nuclear strikes, the gas like prices here were like $2.89.
I probably didn't need gas for those couple of days. I fill up once or twice,
Like,
about twice a week.
I know there was a couple of days while I was working that I paid like the cheapest I paid like for like a 3-day period was $2.69. And then like last night it was like 240 something. Like 241. I'm not just gonna shit on the man. Like the 231 was nice.
Be nice if we could see $1.50 again.
Why stop there? Just go back to 98 cents a gallon.
That'd be even better.
I've seen it.
I think the cheapest I've seen gas was like either 76 cents or 86 cents a gallon.
Yeah, that's about right.
That was in
Like, cause
the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, it started jumping up by cents, and then like by the time we started driving, it was like $1 something, $2 something. Why do you hate this us? Like, what the fuck do we do to you guys to do this to us?
I think I've mentioned this before, but one thing I still do not agree on is that fact. I get it, when gas prices go up, the cost of everything else goes up too. But what we're not acknowledging apparently is that when the gas drops, everything else doesn't follow with it. It stays the same, and that's not right. And I think that kind of leads into the whole price gouging that a lot of people talk about.
Most definitely, I do believe that was a couple of talking points on during the last like couple election cycles. Like people have brought that up. Like, look, guys, we keep, like, here's why inflation keeps on happening. Every time the gas prices go up, everything goes up. Gas prices go back down, everything else stays up. You know what? Also, like, you know what never goes up? Wages. And therein lies the problem. But at the same time, we're in a beautiful time and age that it's not necessarily like you don't necessarily need large upfront cash investments to make extra money. Like shit, if you're strapped, like if someone's strapped cash, they can do, and they have a car, they can do Uber Eats, DoorDash for a bit, stack up some extra paper to get their shit manageable, and then invest it into a side hustle that would take them a couple hours a day, or maybe 10 hours a week total. And it has like over time of nurturing, they can actually yield something that's a bit more sustainable. Right. And maybe be able to quit their job. Like there's so many ways to like, also like some of these gig opportunities will also help you improve yourself via education and skills that make you more desirable to corporations and such. Like I'm gonna be learning Japanese and Farsi.
And what?
Farsi.
I don't know what that is offhand.
An Arabic dialect, just because I figure people like say I look like one, I might as well fuck with them too and just like start speaking in the language randomly.
That would be funny.
Make it some content, just go start talking to people in like Farsi, see how long it is until the cops come. Like, it's like, guys, I'm just fucking around with people. Like, I won't even say anything bad. I'm just going to be like, hey, man, I like your shirt. Just start going around complimenting people in Farsi.
Just say it aggressively.
No, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to say it dead calm. Like, to where you can't, like, it's so, I don't want it to be overly overt. I want it to be ambiguous to where I'm going to play on the prejudice just enough without be perpetuating it. Like, that's why I'm going out there and I'm just going to say compliments. I'm not going to say anything like, go look at the, like, I could show you the video. You can get a translator. And, like, at this point in time, like, we can go from there, you guys. But, like, quite literally, I was just complimenting people's shirts and fashion. Like, just going out and paying nice compliments to people and like seeing how they react because I do it in Farsi. Japanese, I'll go and ask people questions aggressively. At that point, like, it's a whole anime archetype of an aggressive character. I'll play into it. Technically, I kind of fall into that archetype anyway. I would just go ask questions how I would normally ask them, just in Japanese. But going forward, we'll have this a lot more structured. gonna be like we'll have the various content we'll be discussing. That way, at the end of every episode, we'll be able to give like a little preview, and like at that point, that shit will be the marketing content, you know.
I know you mentioned earlier you wanted to talk some about the what was it called? Stop killing games.
Yes, like stop killing games, and like also at a later time we'll go more into the nuisance streamer shit. Like for that, I kind of want it to be one of the more organized ones where I'll share the screen and do all that jazz. But yes, stop stealing games. After watching a video and getting a little bit more background, what are your thoughts on stop stealing games?
Killing games. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's kind of messed up. I mean, you spend X amount of money. I mean, most of the time you pay new game price, and then on top of that, whatever microtransactions or even season pass, what have you, that you spend on the game after that. And then like I can't think of any names right offhand, but there's been a couple of games that have only been out for a year, and they're already shutting them down.
and you know what they're not doing? Giving any kind of recompense or restitution to the people that they just shysted.
Right? I mean, like we buy these games with the confidence that they're going to be available. Like a lot of this started with physical discs they're trying to slowly phase that out. And then like clearly most of us have not ever read the terms of services and stuff, but like how are we going to pay for something and then not own it?
Actually, you know what? I think during next stream, what I'll do is I'll have the terms of services for like a game up, so we could go through. Like, we will go through and read a whole fucking terms of services for like. You know what? We'll poll. I'll make a poll on probably run it on Twitter, because at that point it'll be put out in front of more people. I feel I'll probably like, you know what? I'll also do one on YouTube. So we'll poll shit. Let's see. Well, damn, actually, because at this point in time, I don't think we'll poll. I think we're gonna have to do a couple, because I think it might be worded differently for a single player game versus a multiplayer game.
Right. I just thought of one with the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo updated their terms of agreement and such, where if, and I don't know that I disagree with it, but if you mod the system in any capacity, they will brick it. And at that point, it could be temporary, it could be permanent. I guess it's up to discretion at that point. But, like, I
I
mean,
mean,
people need to, I mean, modding
at
for
that point in
access to
time,
other games, I'm perfectly fine with. But if you're modding to cheat at games to make you play better than what you really do, that's kind of cheap. And that kills the fun for a lot of other people.
yeah, like there shouldn't be any like, you want to mod something, get a fucking PC. You can mod it all you want. Like, they encourage it.
And I've never had issues
Like,
with modding or cheating, so to speak, on single player games. I remember on the PlayStation with having Game Shark codes or even just having in-game cheat codes like Twisted Metal is a prime example. Stuff like that is fine. It didn't affect anybody else, and you could have fun with it, and it wasn't a problem. But then you have online gaming, and people are passing off these cheats as their own skill, and it's not right.
well, it's not, and it like actually really like there are some like Rivals has a good team on top of that. Like, I've actually had a couple of matches, and like these are just quick play. Like, a couple of them were just quick play matches that were stopped mid match because cheating was detected. And like the message popped up: cheating was detected. The player is going to be penalized. This game will not affect your record.
That's cool.
Like, I've gotten that a few times, like in ranked and quick play.
But on that note, if developers like those with Marvel Rivals are able to pick up on that, how is it that, and I suppose I could have a partial answer to that, but how is it that other developers can say, oh, well, we can't effectively monitor cheating? Like that doesn't make sense when you have these other games that can do it. Call of Duty has their own anti-cheat system. Sure, it's far from perfect, but it works to a degree.
Well, at that, it does come down to it's not that they can't or that they won't. It's just, like you said, there's no such thing as a perfect system.
But okay, well, for
Now,
for example, I play Vigor. I play it on PlayStation. It's on Xbox and PC. On the Facebook pages, there are a good number of people who try to claim, "Oh, you can't cheat on console." Well, I find that very hard to believe whenever I know people that have played with people. I myself have been in a on a team with somebody. Explain this. I understand the mechanics of the game. You have a signal tower that can reveal you temporarily the position of all the other players, and you have portable signals that ping one person that's closest to you. Now, how is it that you have somebody who is not using either of those, but they know exactly where the enemies are? They don't miss shots. They're getting threat every game, which means they're killing four or more players, and they're not dying because they just, oh, there you are, blah, you're dead. Next person, blah, you're dead. Like, how can people say you can't cheat on console? Like, they're part of the problem.
okay, they say that because they don't understand the desire of some people. Like, because cheating on console it's not impossible, it's just more difficult than it is on PC.
Right, and I
Like,
can
you could just
understand.
download something and run it on PC. Like, for like a console, you generally have to mod the console a bit.
Right,
Or
well, like
I'm not sure.
the Cronus and the Strike Pack is, to my knowledge, it's something that hooks up either to the controller or it plugs in, and there are ways that you can.
Okay, so like pretty much like like it is an external source that has like there is external factors of like with a PC, all I have to do is download software if I really wanted to.
Right.
I'm not condoning it, but like I said, like the links that you have to go to do it on PC, like on console, is just like people think it's so ridiculous that they don't think it happened. Like anybody would actually do it. It's like it's like
Right.
those plans that are so stupid they might work.
Like, I understand. I'm not the greatest player. I'm certainly not the worst, but I'm not the greatest player. And like, you come across, clearly there's going to be people who have the skill to pull off some of the shit that you see. But what I have a problem with is encountering so many. Also, on a side note, if cheating wasn't a problem, everybody would be forced to accept that it's a skill issue.
That's true. I agree. But at the same time, people are always going to look for an excuse. Like in Marvel Rivals, for instance, kills, in my opinion, mean less like than people give. Like people put so much weight on their kill score, but this is why I think it needs like a push time on objective counter, because like yeah, like you killed a bunch of people, but did you help stop the objective? Did you help push the objective? Did you contribute to actually winning the match in any other way other than just farming kills?
Right, because if it's objective based, then kills aren't what wins the game. They help, but it's not what wins the game. And too
No,
many
I've
people
been
are focused on, oh, well, I got such and so, so many kills, and they think it's a flex, but at the same time, like, but did you win the match or did your team still lose?
yeah, like because like those people that farm kills, like especially if I notice somebody on the enemy team's doing that, like because generally at that point they're trying to trap the team at one point, or they keep on killing off on the side. Like if they try to trap at the one point, they're not like, and the entire team's there. You know what they're not doing? Watching an objective. So I'm gonna go steal that bitch back.
Yeah.
And while they're focused on killing my team, I'm pushing that bitch back. Like I'm pushing that bitch where I need it. Either further towards the objective where I want it or further away from it, like to stop them from getting it.
Yeah.
Like, and then by the like time they realize it, they're coming back to me. My team's reset from that fight that they got stomped on. And then like everybody comes to the objective, we're on even terms, and like at that point, yeah, my team might have died 3 or 4 times, but the objectives where it needs to be, and everybody is like, at that point I forced everybody back to fighting over the objective. Like one side, like, and like honestly, if you're sitting here and pushing the objective, you should be pushing a good distance aside, like that way they're not stalling the objective in the middle of the fight. Like it doesn't stall until it catches up to you at that point.
Yeah.
But I think a large part of things comes down to people don't have a general understanding of what skill is in a variety of games. Like there's a variety of different skills that go into different styles of games of what's good or not. I think somebody that can get through and beat high level people with just fundamental abilities and like just a basic 1-2, like as high as maybe a 5-hit combo is where these people go, but they have that shit down pat. And they compete in high level like fighting games. I think that's a skill into itself. You don't necessarily need to know all of the stuff, but if you have everything that you need, your fundamentals of that character down well enough that you don't need the mastery stuff at all times, because let's be real, you're not going to use that shit all the time anyway. Like, even if you know how to do a 10-hand combo, how often is anybody actually going to go for that shit? Like, so objectively, people need to start looking at skill under how people go about getting their win, and as long as it's off of their own merit and not assisted by cheating tools and shit like that.
Right.
Like, that's absolutely fucking unacceptable.
That or make it available for everybody to use and even the playing field.
At that point, it would be dependent on which ones you make available. Actually, you know what? Developers need to just make a game where the whole point is to fucking cheat. Like, you know what? Since you fuckers keep on complaining about, go wild. And then you know what would happen? Everybody would play fair.
You go so far out to be unique that you come back to normalcy.
They're like, oh man, this game's so fun when you play it this way and you don't do what you're supposed to. Man, that cheating shit's whack. You don't say.
Just have too many people with either too much time on their hands or too much money, and they're just crappy people.
Yeah. Like, because, you know, like,
they're unhappy with their lives, so they have to project that onto other people.
Agreed. Like, because you know me, like, I adapt to games rather quickly. And I'm rather proficient in a couple of games that I think I could do rather well competitively in. Like, so much so I'm actually going to start actually training for 2 of them. We'll discuss that at a later time, folks. You don't get all the good news all at once. We just got back. Buy us dinner first. Damn. But you've played games against me. You've played on my team. You've witnessed me lead teams in games. And you know what? When we lose, I take that L and move on. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, they're like, unless there's something like blatantly like cheating shit, I'm not going to be mad. Like, and in fighting games, I like losing. Like,
you to get better.
Well, like generally in fighting games, most people, like in the circle, like with the exception of 1 or 2 people, in most fighting games, I'm going to dog walk most people in our circle. Like in DBZ games, you can keep up with me. In Tekken, Schizo, and K's actually probably a bit above me. In Soul Cal, like all the aforementioned people are among my rivals. Like, but I love when people beat me, especially if they beat me in a way I've never been beaten before. I'm like, okay, I could correct that weakness. Like, I did not know that I could allow that to happen. Now that I know that it can happen, I know how to stop it or not put myself into the position to where I allow that stupid shit to happen. Which was what I witnessed in that one Tekken versus that one match versus Kazuya versus King that I ranted on for about like 15 minutes the other day. They shouldn't have lost, man. They were up 2 from the jump. Quite literally, all they had to do was hit the person once and not be hit. In lieu of that, keep hitting them more than they hit you.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm actually going to find that match and I'm going to send it to you so you can understand my fucking frustration. Because I don't think you understand like understanding that I use Kazuya, and mind you, I might be being a bit prejudiced because I have a lot of experience against King because the person that got me leveled up in Tekken uses King. So when I see that might be obvious to me, like don't do that, don't do that. Like the horror movie thing, like don't go in that room, don't sidestep that. Yeah, you idiot. They wanted you to do that. Like so, I might be being a bit critical, but I'm gonna send that to you so you can see and you can tell me if I'm being an asshole. Like, mind you, like I said, they were up to nothing.
Somebody got cut and then lost their rhythm and couldn't get it back.
Yeah, like I guess that's ultimately what I'm really most mad about is like you got the two, and then like because like again, it might be again to my bias and experience of I do a lot of Kazuya versus King, like so there's just stuff that's like it seemed like you got a little, like you said, a little too complacent, and then when you like your arrogance got to the fuck around and find out point, you couldn't recover. And like that's okay in like for round one, but like by round two, like in between rounds, take that breath, like take that breath and reset. Like, hey, you still got two more times, but you should really put a button on this as quick as possible. They're obviously showing that they're not completely asleep. Put them down. Okay, so I guess the cat's out the bag. One of these games I'm thinking about going competitively into is Tekken. Later, we'll reveal more details. Oh, actually, did you download Tekken?
No, I haven't downloaded it yet.
Disappoint.
How many gigs is it?
I have no earthly idea. I downloaded it ages ago. I don't keep track of the size of my game.
Find out.
Now I remember I was. You know they're making a new Street Fighter movie, right?
I don't know if I knew that.
They're making a new Street Fighter. Apparently, Jason Momoa is going to be Blanca.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I did see something about that.
Roman Reigns from WWE is going to be Akuma.
Do you agree with that?
I have mixed feelings, but I'm not necessarily outraged by it.
I mean, does Roman have the temperament to play Akuma? Because like, wasn't he like a no bullshit character? Like, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, but like that's also kind of where the tribal chief character was. Wrestling's just acting, and that's kind of what his last character kind of was. I've only seen him act in one, like the only thing I've seen him in besides this was Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay.
So does he? But like another wrestler's in it too, and I don't know if it was a joke or an actual rumor, or maybe it's an actual. There's talks, but there might be a third wrestler up in there. But Cody Rhodes is cast as Guile, apparently.
So Tekken 8?
Yes, sir. And what's his name? There's a giant strongman wrestler, like a former strongman that's a wrestler
100 gigs.
that might play like it might just be a fan casting, but it would be epic if it was cast for Zangief. Braun Strowman.
I'm not sure who that is right offhand.
Well, I didn't like you don't really keep up on wrestling like I do, man. Like I didn't really expect you to like he's a guy over the last couple like over the last decade or so. Like he might have been in a couple of the games that we played back in the day. I'm not 100% sure.
All right, I got the space for Tekken.
Excellent. We can start training.
So I just got to start the download and then I can leave your profile, right?
The what?
I just need to start the download and then I can leave your profile. Yeah.
You can go into rest mode and do whatever. Like it just has to start. Like you have to start the download from mine.
Yeah. All right.
Like actually though, that's actually what's that? That's actually a very like I said, I think you'll enjoy the story, especially since like I said, it's more linear than previous stories. Like it actually has a story, a definitive story mode where you go through each part of the story. You do the shit you need to do in the story. You have the fight. You get the information. It's pretty cool.
Does it make you play with every character, or do you pick a player, a character?
No, you go through with several characters.
Okay.
And then it also has sub stories for each character. But at different points in the story, it'll focus you on different characters in the story. Like you'll be pleased to know that I do believe there is actually a portion where you do a couple of fights as Lars.
So I think the last Tekken I played was 4 or 5 when Lars was introduced. Is the controls like how are the controls
My
compared
man,
to back
you've
then?
played since then because you've played 7 with me.
Did I? I don't remember.
Yeah, like you've played Tekken with me. Like you said 4 and 5. I'm like, man, you've played Tekken with me since then. Shut up. You lying to these people. Why are you
I don't.
lying to our fans, T? Why are you lying to our fans? See, I know why he's lying. He's trying to lure y'all into a false sense of security, a pull hustle. Like, oh, I don't really play. Let you win the first couple of rounds, and then he's gonna dog walk your ass. That's why he's telling y'all that.
Hey, it might happen, it might not.
Trying to play with these people.
There was a night when I was trumping you and Schizo in Tekken.
Hey, some nights you got it. Like, and notice how I said you got it, because I could have been like, you got the one night where both me and Skizz. No, you were on fire that night. I give you your props. I'm not gonna be that guy that was like, nah, me and like, we played bad. We got our ass beat. Like, if we were like, if you were playing good and we couldn't keep up, it was like at that point, like we can't be mad at you for beating our ass consistently throughout the night. We have to go look in a mirror and be like, get noob. Like, what are we gonna say to you? Like, get good, noob.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were going back and forth between SoCal and Tekken at that time.
So, are you saying you're gonna beat my ass in Tekken now?
Maybe not in the beginning, but it's possible I can get there.
I mean, like Tekken's one of those games that, like you're gonna have to understand because it's one of those games. If I get too complacent, like even in the early couple of matches that you coming back, like you could get that win. Like it ain't that hard to capitalize is on one big mistake and just make me pay for it.
Yeah.
Like so, I wouldn't put it past being able to do it. But I'm asking, are you saying you're gonna dog walk me, man? You want that smoke? Remember the last time we got into a fighting game set of grudge matches?
Speaking of which, I wonder.
And then you got irritated with the rest of the fighting game community on that game.
Yeah.
Playing about things where I'm like, man, and I'm like, bro, I love you, but I'm not having that problem. Though I do think that people over spamming certain characters and like just insta locking and only playing like Gogeta and shit like that is kind of bullshit because it's like, okay, at that point, there are those people that are actually good at the game that just happen to like to bust out Gogeta every now and then, and I can vibe with. But if you're just doing Vegeta or Gogeta because you suck at the game and that's the only way you can get a win, I'm sorry, you suck at the game, and I'll beat your ass with Yamcha.
Yeah, like I went out of my way not to use Vegito or Gogeta. I used Bardock and Goku and a couple other characters.
I would use Vegito. I'm not. Wait, Vegito is like the Stardust Crush
That's
one,
Gogeta.
right?
Gogeta does the Stardust Breaker. Vegito fought Boo. Gogeta is the one we saw fight Broly.
Okay, I like didn't okay, but they did do a Vegito version of Super Saiyan Blue, didn't they? Okay, that's the one I used. Like I would use the one that can go up to blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you also know me. You've seen me dog walk people with Cyberman and Yamcha in that game and its predecessors. So,
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, I can play with whoever the fuck I want. Like, if you complain about one, you know what? I'll switch. Just let me know. I'll switch it up, buddy. Like, I'll beat your ass with somebody else. Like, you seen me do it.
Speaking of Sparking Zero, though, they've added Shallot from the mobile game. I think it's Legends. I could be wrong on that. They've also added Beast Gohan and I forget who else, but Shallot's interesting because he's an original character that was created.
They had Super 17?
I did not see 17.
Then I don't give a damn. Like, they added all the other bullshit characters from GT. They left out the coolest one.
And Daima. They added Daima too.
Yeah, so you can see where I'm frustrated about them leaving out my boy.
Yeah, so Shallot from Dragon Ball Legends, and then you got Daima. Who does that give you? It gives you Mini Goku, Mini Vegeta from Super
Do I
Saiyan
need another mini
3,
fucking Goku?
Glorio, Pansy, Majin Ku, and then Beast Gohan with the 2 androids they introduced with that, and that's it for characters at the moment.
No Orange Piccolo?
Right? Yeah, no Orange Piccolo. Let me double check. Gohan Superhero, Super Saiyan, Ultimate Gohan, Beast Gohan. Okay, here he is. I just didn't read it. So Piccolo, Piccolo Unleashed, Orange Piccolo Giant Form, Gamma 1 and 2, and then Cell Max.
Okay, I was like, because I could have sworn they said Piccolo and Cell Max were coming out with Gohan.
Yeah, my bad.
They might get me back just because I like Gohan. I'm like, God damn you, DBZ, you fucking money grabbing bastards.
I haven't kept up with it, so I don't know what kind of updates they've implemented since we last played.
Actually, you know what I really wish they would do that would be really cool? Like, implement an actual team battle.
What, like with different people on the team? Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Like, and just like go 2v2. Don't need to go the full five, like at that point. But you could also do it into game mode where it's like, hey, like y'all do that, and you can also control the swap.
Yeah, I think Legends had something like that where you could swap out your team pretty regularly, like faster than what we saw in Sparking Zero.
There was Battle of Z that came out in 2012. It was actually 4v4, and it was everybody fought at once. The only reason I think it failed, like, is it was ahead of its time.
Yeah,
It was at a time where, yeah, internet gaming was a bit more normal, but it wasn't like everybody had access to internet, especially to do something like that, where it would be for like rendering 8 different locations, like information like that. And like I got it and didn't play it very often because it was only online, and like at that point you didn't have online capabilities. Like not everybody, like, and it's like I don't like randos, but I mean you gotta make friends sometimes, I suppose.
yeah,
I'm actually kind of excited to see where a lot of, like, there's a lot of interesting games coming out, and like interesting content coming out for games that are already out. Like Rivals has kept me because they like the lore of the game is cool. I love Marvel Rivals. Also, actually, we haven't been here since Rivals dropped, actually, now that I think about it. So I'm actually probably going to go on a little bit of a glazing right here. Is Marvel Rivals like a perfect game? No. No game's ever really perfect. Even after years and years of polishing, there's always something being done better. But I do think we kind of have the perfect development team because they listen to the people, they listen to feedback. If they do something and they get backlash, they're like, oh, whoa, 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 my bad, that was a stupid idea. We won't do that. And they keep listening to feedback, good and negative. Like they try to keep it as fair amounts, and they act like, but they actually listen and value the opinions of their player base, which I think is a lost art and forgotten. It kind of like, because like a lot of times we're kind of just forgotten in, it's like we bought the game and then it's just like F you, we got your money, we're out. And
right,
this is a free to play game, just like, hey, here's all this stuff. We give you a chance to earn currency through the battle pass for free without purchasing the battle pass. There's events where you can earn currency that are free, like even through the free parts of it in some cases. We're giving you like a new character every month. Like Marvel Rivals, for being really officially launched only in December, has done a lot of good things in the last 6, 7. Like from even when they may, like, I might not always agree with all the change, like the nerfs and buffs that they do and the balance, like, but that's just me. Like that's my opinion, like on some of them, and like some of them I think are absolutely necessary. Sometimes I just think people are being whiny bitches. Like, but like I said, Rivals, great shit. Definitely one of the things we need to get down on. We do need to get Yo rank up there, but we'll probably have to wait for the new season so it resets my rank back to closer to y'all's so we can play together. Also, May end up having somebody run the Mantis part of the and it would give us another stable healer, leaving you free to DPS. And at that point, I'm making Bryce tank because I need a tank that can tank.
Yeah, so far I'm not great with the tanks.
Have you been on since they released Emma?
Yeah, I did decent with Emma, but I haven't played much, or I haven't played since the last time I played with you.
And then, like, actually, even at that, like, watch, one of these days we'll play. I can run Emma and you can run Mags, and you get team up boasts where you make a little mental clone of yourself that also attacks the enemy that you're attacking.
Use who?
Mags, Magneto, master of magnetism. He like, honestly, people like to shit on him. I think he's actually one of the better tanks, mainly because he has a shield and, like, yeah, it has a 3-second cooldown. Like, I think it should be more Strange's. Mind you, I've gotten so I've played so many characters now. I actually kind of have a understand. Like, when I shift to another character, I have a deeper understanding of how their shit will work.
Yeah.
But it also helps out because, like, when I play against them, I'm like, hey, this person's gonna try to do this, this, and this. I'm not gonna let them do any of that. I want to say there was another Devil May Cry has come out since we were gone too.
Yeah, the series that was really good.
It was like, especially like, whereas for stuff like this, everybody wants a straight rip off of games. I like the route they went, especially with keeping the spirit of, like, they kept the spirit of the series. Like, the story was a bit of a mix, like, it had different aspects, but the spirit was all there.
Yeah, the important thing was keeping Dante's personality, and it's slightly different, but mostly because in the games I think Dante was older at that point than what he's portrayed in the show. So that's understandable. Dante's
And
dialogue in the
I think
show I
in the
think was
original,
pretty good.
in the games, I think he was a tad bit more of a womanizer. Like, now
Yeah,
he, like, in this one, he was more flirtatious, less womanizing.
yeah.
But, like, all in all, it was a phenomenal, like, the rabbit, like, I was like, dude, like, the whole, like, I'm just like, dude, this is fucking insane. Give me more.
Do we know when the next season is dropping, or if they're gonna drop a season two?
No earthly idea, but, like, what I did hear is they were already ready to go for once season 2 gets greenlit to go on it. They have this worked out a bit ahead,
Okay.
apparently. So, as good as reviews and reception it is it got, I don't see a reason why we wouldn't get a second. Especially how they ended it. It's more likely than not that we get at least a season 2, if not a season 3 and beyond.
Yeah.
Because at that point, like I said, they're not fully going by the games, but that doesn't mean we can't cover events that happen in the game.
Right. And I'm fine with, the show doesn't have to do what the games did, because clearly this is before the games took place.
Yeah,
But if they decide to incorporate things, that's fine too. A reimagining is fine as long as they're just not going off the walls, like changing shit.
yeah. Like, there's a lot. Like, wasn't there also something else that came out too with while we were away?
Maybe, but I can't remember at the moment.
See, what's gonna happen is eventually, once we wind this down, we're gonna be gaming on the stream, and we're gonna be like, "Fuck, that's what it was."
As I mentioned earlier, I know we got the new Digimon game that's supposed to release in October. You saw a little bit of the trailer or gameplay or whatever it was they showed. I haven't yet, so I really do hope it's going to be good.
Yeah, it, like, new computer. You know how I am when I get new tech. Like, and especially since, like, even right now, I've actually, like, you remember how we were talking about Sin City? I still have the Google sheet for Sin City up on my big screen over here. I'm like, it's gonna go harder than a motherfucker later. Yes, Sin City. I don't know how we're gonna get it in with the Fanspiracy line of brand. Actually, protecting children. That's how we spawned the whole talk of fucking
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Sin City to begin with. So I know how we're gonna spin it. So yeah, Sin City will be in the next topic, as well as I think by that next week we can both get a bit more informed on stop killing games. I do think we need to do something, get an initiative like that going over here in the US. And in lieu of that, maybe start one called Start Stealing Games and get back to piracy. Like, because there's actually been a discussion that like piracy, like digital piracy and everything stopped because there was alternatives and stuff, services being provided that were fair and reasonably priced that didn't require us to go piracy. Like Netflix started to boom and shit like that.
And they're not cheap no more.
And they're taking our games.
Like to
Hold
me,
up,
it
hold up. Gotta. Damn, my keyboard's in the way. Gotta hoist the colors. I don't know why I'm doing that. No one's ever going to see this fucking video. Yeah, but for those that are gonna be listening to this, like I just hoisted like went it over to my Jolly Roger. Oh, I'm fucking. Actually, they might get clips just to because I'm not sure if I can do just audio. Actually, I can. I can do the audio and just give it B-roll. Have it do a generate B-roll for it. So that's good because I was like, man, but can do gaming clips. Fuck, what word? Oh yeah, but yeah, like piracy, like we definitely need, if we stop stealing games, we need to get something like that going over there because more people putting pressure on them is better. And let's be real, we're probably one of the bigger consumers of video games. So if our market starts saying, like, hey, yeah, that's some bullshit, they have to listen. Like, what the fuck, people? It's not rocket science. Like, stop taking our shit.
I don't know if this was just rumored, but I heard something about a Legend of Dragoon possible remake or reboot.
Give me two jiggles of a jackrabbit's ass. I want to know. Because I had heard rumors like a while back, Legend of Dragoon remake.
I was gonna go ahead and say they do a Legend of Dragoon remake. That would just be simply awesome. Like I have more love for that than I do Final Fantasy.
I recently, this is on Reddit from Ryu Akichi.
Huh?
Shuhei Yoshida told me a Legend of Dragoon remake is unlikely. I recently interviewed Yoshida-san at Gamescom Latam. I took the opportunity to ask him about a Legend of Dragoon remake. To sum it up, he said it would be an endeavor as big as the Final Fantasy VII remake and that it's highly unlikely to happen.
I shared something on Facebook and I just shared it to you on Messenger. You can take a look at it. That's what I saw.
Let me see.
So what if it's going to be a big undertaking like Final Fantasy? I would expect that. It was a 3 or 4 disc game.
Okay, there's the article. I would take this with a grain of salt just off the name. Like, I don't know the organization, so to speak, I guess would be the best way to put it. Like, it could just be like it could be somebody with like the ability to make a website and they post stuff to try to generate stuff to get a actual, like, maybe to generate movement. But in it, like, even when skimming through it, it didn't seem to say where they heard anything from, like any of the people involved with the project. Like, mind you, I only did a quick skim since we're on like the thing, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
know
definitely
why these people don't want our money.
like from Game Rant is Legend of Dragoon deserves the remake treatment, and that was published 2 years ago. Okay. Legend of Dragoon remake and an in-depth analysis. Okay, and like even this, it's saying before discussing anything, let me say right off the bat, there's no release date set for the Legend of Dragoon remake, and as no official announcement has been made, there's been nor been any leak from a reputable source. And again, this is from like 2023 on Video Chums by AJ Macy Juski.
I'll say again, I don't know why they don't want our money.
I'm not gonna say that, like they can't have my money if they did it, but I'm saying if they did me like they did Final Fantasy VII, then we're gonna have some fucking problems. I am not paying, like, they didn't charge me per disc for 7. Why are you charging me per disc now? Highway robbery.
Yeah,
Like, I
I
don't
didn't
even want to buy the game on sale.
I didn't even finish the game Rebirth. I got like maybe 3/4 of the way through.
And then you're like, they robbed me.
I mean, the graphics are good, everything looks good, but it's just they're being shiesty bastards. And that also touches on what we were talking about earlier before the cast, that they want to start charging more for games, but they're not even. But do they really deserve it?
Like, to be fair, had they released all three games at once and charged me $120, all three discs at once, and charged me $120, you know what? I wouldn't have complained. Okay, you did a lot of work on this game. Good for you. You gave me the whole fucking game. But if you're gonna be giving them to me in piecemeal and expect me to pay for every fucking piece, fuck you. I'm talking to you, Square Enix. I will stop. Like, I love Final Fantasy, but there's other game in town, y'all. Don't test me. Try Jesus, not me.
On a separate note, I did see on the PlayStation Store that they have re-released Final Fantasies 1 through 5 or 1 through 6,
Not
something like
bad.
that. It might not be. I know it's at least the first 4.
Okay, yeah, that's just gonna irritate me. I need to get off this screen teasing me with some shit that I want my fucking Legend of Dragoon.
I have the original in my library.
Yeah, so do I. Like, as soon as they released that on PS5, I bought that shit.
Yeah. I think I got it for like $10 or $20.
I stacked it at 10. I was like, ooh, I want this. But yeah, at the end of the day, they be robbing us.
Oh, I also heard that Square Enix is talking about moving forward, that they're going to go back to what's it called? Turn-based gameplay for Final Fantasies. Like they'll still release like what they're doing now, but like apparently they're gonna go back to like how Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and the previous ones were.
I kind of wish they had done more. Like, they kind of gave that hybrid version in 7, but I kind of wish they had, like, at least given the choice. Like, do you want real time battle or do you want turn based?
Yeah.
Like, because then I would have played the game twice. Like, y'all are forgetting simple gaming psychology, people. Like, had you given me 2 ways to beat the game, I would have beat the game 2 different ways. And then I would have been, like, critiquing on which one was harder.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of potential there. I would be, like, it'd be fucking stupid, though. The last part of 7 is turn based.
It'd be funny.
I would laugh my ass off if they did that. It's like, yeah, guys, you know how we said we're going forward, we're going turn based? Here's the final chapter of Final Fantasy VII, guys. Enjoy. It'd be just the shiesty, like some shiesty shit they would pull. Get everybody used to this real time battle fight, and bam! What the like? They're gonna have Generation Z like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what am I supposed to do? Poor unfortunate bastard. But I think we've covered a good chunk. Well, all of the preview you're gonna get is like, just know, like, at some point, like next week, we're gonna bring up Sin City and have a discussion about that. Like, everything else, I haven't thought it up. He hasn't thought it up. It is what it is.
Sometimes you
We
just
just
gotta play by ear.
we've been slacking. Like, we've been saying for like since like February. Oh yeah, like we got to record, and then like just a bunch of shit. Life happens.
Life comes and slaps you in the face.
Yeah, like, so we were like, hey, let's record. And like, mind you, at the end of recording this, we're probably gonna game, and I'm probably gonna stream that shit. So like, that's gonna be like, you're not gonna hear this until after that stream. So I don't even know why I'm telling y'all. But any last words, T?
Just want to say, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I had reservations about it at first. Got it on sale. Finally played it. That was a short ass game. On my first playthrough, I mean, yeah, I restarted early in the game a couple times because I missed something and I wanted to get all the lockpicks or antique coins, what have you. But aside from a couple of hiccups where I didn't understand what the game was wanting me to do, like I went through that pretty quick. Village, on the other hand, it took me some time. It had a lot more content to run through. But as my associate here has stated, like they just randomly threw a nobody character at us and expected us to like it. And I know that 7 got a lot of hype, but 4
It was
is
from
still my
Gooners.
jam. Resident Evil 4 is still my jam.
But no, actually, I love how you started that off because, like, you're like, I went into this game with some reservations, and like, it made it seem like you were gonna glaze the game, and then you just shit on the like, you would have complete like. Generally, when someone said I had reservations about this, but you know what, it was pretty. No, you just went the complete opposite. I had reservations, and it's like it disappointed me. What the? It was short as fuck. And as my associate said, who the fuck is this guy? Actually,
Village,
you know
I gotta say, Resident Evil Village ripped the fuck off of Resident Evil 4.
what I'll say here and now is like I said, no one will ever see this video, but I'll actually make it a condition. Like a way, the only way this video will ever be seen is if this episode of the podcast gets 5,000. No, I'm being greedy. 3,000 likes.
And
If this podcast edition gets 3,000 likes, they get to watch this video of, like, all the shit going on, all the clowning, all the goofy shit. Me tripping my camera over my keyboard and shit. Yeah.
but aside from that,
Incentivized.
yeah. But other than that, I think that's all for now that I have to say.
Yeah, but I actually just gotta say, oh yeah, like also sometime in the near future, maybe not next episode, gonna have bit of a discussion about nuisance streamers and reckless streamers and content creators. Because if you have a platform, you also have a fucking responsibility to use it wisely. End of discussion. I always prefer the time. I never want anybody to call me a fucking influencer. Like, if someone does, I think I might actually slap them. We create content. I'm not trying, like, I understand I have an influence, and I am like, I have a very set purpose of what I want from my influence, but I also have the like the conscious awareness of what I do with, like, why, like, down to the point that literally even okay, full disclosure, if I do upload this video, it's gonna be behind a paywall. I'm not even gonna. But aside from that, because at that point, like, I need to make sure you're not children. Like, you don't get to see this video if you ain't grown. But to the point, there's a lot of people out here that think just because they have a platform of such stature that certain rules don't apply to them. Whatever, I don't know why they get this logic into them, but it's not a good one to have. There's a lot of good content creators out there, and actually I would want to like, we're going to be highlighting a lot of content creators going forward too, because that's part of of me using my stuff responsibly. I think that there's some people out there that are a shining example of what, if you're going to create content, like, there's a lot of people that put some real serious work into it, but they also put good back into the world. Like I was telling you about some of the folks from one of the podcasts that I like watching, Unsubscribe, that were out there helping in the Texas floods.
I do have one more thing to say when you're done.
By all means, brother.
We can touch more on this later, but we can talk about how the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Dan Patrick, went on a, for lack of
Fuck
a
that guy.
better, yeah, basically, but for lack of a better word, he went on a tangent trying to ban marijuana, just flat out. Like, we have so many businesses here in the state that rely on those sales to survive.
Well, not necessarily marijuana. Let's not, like,
Well,
mislead people. Marijuana is illegal in Texas.
hemp products,
Hemp-based products that have THC in them.
that would be
But
the
like,
more
actually,
correct
he was
term.
trying to ban hemp at, like, if it had hemp at all, like, it was like gone. Yeah. Continue though.
But yeah, I just cannot believe that. What irks me to death, it is really, really a problem, is when people try to use children as an excuse to ban something. First of all, smoke shops, places where you can buy, gas stations even, are supposed to card people. The smoke shops, I know for a fact, I've been to many, they will card you. They will make sure that you are old enough to be there. So for the lieutenant governor to say that kids are going into these places and buying said products has to be a blatant lie, or at least an exaggeration. Like, stop blaming it's for the kids, like bullshit. You're trying to push an agenda and the kids have nothing to
My
do with it.
question is, how come it's for the kids? It's a danger to our kids works on everything but fucking guns. You notice that?
Yeah.
Anytime they want to ban something, but think of the children. Okay, let's start banning some guns or put some more, like, let's maybe take a deeper look at the requirements and what requires people to get guns, and maybe not let mentally ill people that have a propensity for violence have access to them unsupervised. At that point, no, you're coming for our guns. But what about the children? What about the children, motherfucker?
Also, flavored
I don't want to
smoking.
hear what about the children. If you can't talk about reasonable gun control laws, I don't ever want about the hear what about the children as an argument.
Right.
Because at that point, it's an empty argument.
And the fact that they keep trying to use children as an excuse to target flavored smoking accessories, like, we as adults, we want some flavor.
I like shit that tastes good, damn it.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, come on now. First of all, just like with anything illegal, they're going to get a hold of it regardless of what the law says. So, stop making excuses and trying to push an agenda. I mean, there is research that shows that hemp products or even marijuana has medical uses. They help. It helps. Sure, people abuse it, but people abuse anything that can be abused. That's going to happen. Can it be regulated to a degree? Sure. And I've even
Yeah, but it can only be regulated if it's legal.
right.
Like
And
banning it's gonna force unregulated shit.
right, it pushes people back to the black market. And what does that do? I mean, all that money could have been going to the state economy. But no, it goes to the black market, and then they use other excuses. Oh, well, the war on drug, that's a separate conversation, but you know what I'm saying.
No. Actually, I'm with you, and like we are actually gonna go into a conversation about that because I think like I fucking hate Governor Abbott, but he at least did something right when he
Yes.
vetoed that shit.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna give you props, Greg, or Governor Greg, GG, GG. That's what I'm gonna call him now. GG Abbott, you did good, but even a broken clock's right twice a day. I do actually have a list of articles and a couple of videos I want us to go over that we will actually do. It won't be a part, like, it'll be us having a discussion about the state of our state and some of the stupid shit going on. Because, like, some of the shit that they be trying to make laws about, I'm just like, there's so much shit going on that why the fuck is this an issue? Like, we've had porn in this state, and it was under the guise about, but what about the children?
We were looking I mean, it doesn't help the situation, but we were looking at porn when we were in school, like when we were kids, like.
That's neither here nor there. The point of the matter is, like, between that, the hemp ban, and like there was something else, like I have it saved somewhere in a folder for exactly, like, I'm glad that you brought this up and you're like, we can bring this up later because we were gonna. Like I said, we're gonna hit this a wee bit differently, and we're gonna diverse. Like, yes, we're gonna have the podcast as is here doing what we're gonna do, but then we're also gonna do a show where we'll have a bit more information. We'll share the information. We'll have links in the description and shit. Like, we're gonna, like I said, just because we weren't here doesn't mean I wasn't cooking, motherfuckers. Been in that kitchen, reading the cookbook, practicing on the cookbook.
Now serve up that 3-course meal.
Hell yeah. Actually, I'm planning probably closer to 6. Like eventually, I'll scale up to 9, but
Right.
right now I probably have like 6 anywhere from 4 to 6. I have a bit more than 3 at the moment, though. Definitely, we'll discuss that more after the fact. But that being said, y'all, fuck Lieutenant Governor, whatever the fuck your name is. You're so insignificant. Dan something, I
Dan
think. Is that
Patrick.
Patrick?
Dan Patrick.
Yeah, like you're so like fuck you. And Governor Greg Abbott, you did us a solid, but still,
I didn't even know who Dan Patrick was until I heard that he was spearheading that bill.
I've heard about, like, I had heard some other stupid shit. Like, it's just, I pay attention. Like, I know so much stupid shit. If I let everybody's stupid, all the politicians' stupid shit get to me, I would be completely bald. I would pull my beard hair out. Like, it would have been a problem. So, that being said, you want to tell these people, find people there.
All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you later, and hope you all have a good time.
You heard the man. Till next time, people. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Peace, y'all.
I don't know why I saluted the camera. They ain't seeing this shit. Unless y'all get those 3,000 likes, and still it's going to be behind a paywall. But holla at your boys.